Divine 15 says, hey, coach, best advice for a cashier who is suffering from stress and depression. I can never be happy when dealing with so many people. Yeah, great question. I feel your heart. I understand where you're coming from because I deal with people all the time. You got to make sure you have balance. Balance is key. Based upon your personality trait, based upon on what kind of person you are, you may, like for me, I can sense the room. I can become so drained at times because sometimes I'm the center of the environments I'm in because of the personality I have, the warmth that I bring, the advice that I give. There's not a room that I go into where there's the bulk of the rooms I go into, people are drawn to me. I work at elementary school. I can't walk down the hallway without kids grabbing me and to want to talk to me. And me and my loving self, it don't matter if a kid is talking about that his socks is mismatched. I'm intentionally listening to him. And so what I had to realize recently was to find that balance, because not only was I married, not only am I in my niece's and nephew's life, not only am I a son, a husband, a son, a brother, a preacher, a teacher. People are drawn, and I had to find balance to make sure I take care of myself. So to help you out is to find out what makes you feel balanced, because you're not going to be happy if you don't take care of you. And if you are a person that gives, and and most of the time you're giving to people that don't pour back in, you're going to find yourself drained and upset with life. And I've been there many times until I realized, no, I'm going to go lift weights. No, I'm going to go get buckets. No, I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to take my naps. I'm going to rest, because if I'm no good to me, I'll be no good to you. And sometimes people don't realize the type of personality you are, that you actually give more than they give. People really think they give equally as you. They don't. They think they do. They think a pat on the back, a thank you, they think that's enough. No, it ain't enough. Because when you giving energy and you giving time, especially when you dealing with interchangeable people, you must have balance. You must have balance. So you're stressed and you're depressed because you're stressed. You see what I'm saying? And you're stressed because you're not at rest. When you begin to get rest that comes from balance, then you will begin to see your stress subside. And then you will begin to say, man, okay, I know when to say no. No is self-care. It is okay to say no. It is okay to find balance. It's okay to take mental health days. It's okay to take days off, because you got to look out for you. Hey, coach, best advice for a cashier who is suffering from stress and depression. I can never be happy. First, you got to change your words. You cannot say words, I can never be happy, because when you say things like that, your words have power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and demons love to fill up hollow words and make those words real in your life. So if you say I'm never happy, they're going to be like, oh, I heard this young lady by whoop de boop say she never happy. So we're going to make sure that life is never happiness towards her, and we're going to keep her from the joy of the Lord, because that's what's going to find her strength. And then hopefully depression calls death in her life. That's what they do. So what you got to say, you got to change your vocabulary. You got to change the way you say things. Say, no, I am happy. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I want you to look up scriptures on the joy of the Lord. That's what your homework is. And anyone who struggles with that, I want you to go to Google and type in scriptures on the joy of the Lord. And I want you to meditate on it. I want you to spend time with that. I want you to look on my channel right now, look up, type in meditating on scriptures or Bible verses, whatever, and watch those videos that talks about how to meditate on God's word. I did a very powerful video recently where I answered someone's question. That video will help you. But you're not going to be happy in this world. The only way you're going to be happy in this world is when you are in the bubble of God's joy. So find your balance. Use no as a self-care tool. Meditate on the scriptures of the joy of the Lord and keep it moving. And then watch over time, you'll begin to pick your pockets and find your balance. Cashier who deals with all kinds of rude. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm a cashier who deals with all kinds of rude and disrespectful customers. Sometimes it gets, what you have to understand is that people are tormented. How I get through and get through toxicity and negativity and disrespect to people is to realize they're hurting. So what I do is I do not allow hurt people to hurt me. And so don't get me wrong, in the moment it sucks, but you have to build yourself up in a place where you know who you are in God, and that you got to make sure you disrespect yourself so you don't become disrespected. What I mean by that, disrespect yourself so that you don't succumb to other people's disrespect. Josh, that don't make sense. Let me walk you through this. Find out what triggers you and become untriggered by that. So when you look at yourself, okay, what makes me feel the most disrespected? Go through scenarios, process, so you can be like, you know what? Why am I so upset about that? I posted a status, I think this morning or yesterday. It says, let me read it because it's powerful. I want to make sure I quote it correctly. But the status was to help us really process what's the main goal of life. So let me find it real quick. Nah, that's the wrong page. But yeah, people are going to disrespect you. Sometimes you got to disrespect yourself so you don't succumb to people's disrespect, because if you can already process what triggers you the most, you can have the right frame of mind with that thing and you won't succumb. So when people disrespect you, it may sting, but you'd be like, oh, I went through this before. I went through these scenarios before. I'm not going to let that bother me too much. But the status says this. I'm almost there. It says, don't be offended long. Process the offense so that you can get back on the offense. You can't score offended. Okay, so offend yourself so that you can always be in offense. You cannot score if you're always defensive. You see what I'm saying? Even defense got to turn into offense. And so what that means is don't be offended long. So process the top things that makes you offended. And really think about, why am I offended by this? I do this with kids all the time. You know, when someone talks about your mom, like they don't even know your mom. They probably never seen your mom. But because you love your mom so much, and you probably love your mom more than you can actually process, it affects you. And don't get me wrong, anytime somebody says whatever, it's going to bother you. But when you process it and realize you don't even deserve, if you're intentionally willing to give me negative energy, I'm not gonna reward that negative energy with negative energy. What I'm gonna do is I'm rewarded with positivity. I'm rewarded with kindness. And 75% of the people just have bad days. There's 25% of people who just downright rude. 75% of people just have bad days. So taking a couple of steps back, first off, looking at yourself, taking a couple steps back and really having empathy will help you better engage with disrespectful and rude people and help you go forward. So that status again says, don't be offended long. Process the offense so that you can get back on the offense, so you can get back in the game, get back scoring. You can't score offended, meaning you're not going to be able to excel in life rooted in offense.